and welcome to this 100 sub special. Yes, so yeah, 100. It's a really great mile marker in a way, and I am being really awkward, but that's okay. That's kind of just who I am as a person, I suppose. Anyways, yeah, you guys are really, really wonderful because, so like, I think it was 2 days after we hit 100 and I put out the thing of searching for questions, we were at 105 and now we're at 112, and it just is, it makes me so happy to have that. And also, I was just pretty honestly shocked at the turnout of questions that I had. The reason I was going to do this to be a Q&A/50 facts about myself was I thought, at 100 subscribers, I'm probably not gonna get that many questions. But no, you guys really care about, I mean, you had questions about the harp. There were a lot of questions like dealing with my influences. But then you just had questions about myself as a person and just random things that you were curious about. So thank you so much for taking an interest. And on that note, let's just get into it, I guess. So we're gonna start with a very serious question. One of the most serious questions in the thing, because you might as well get those out first, right? There's 2 of them too. It was so serious that 2 people asked it. And it's this. What is your favorite type of cereal? And what do you do first? Cereal or milk? Obviously, I'm joking. That's not a serious question. But the answer is I have not had cereal for probably 7 years now. I don't really like it that much. Usually for breakfast, I have coffee, and that's about it. It's not very healthy, but it's yummy. But I usually have like lunch at around 10, so I don't think it's a big deal. I have a very weird eating schedule. These are from David Cruz. I know he has been here for quite a while because I've seen his comments. First question though, do you have violet irises naturally? Which is very observant. No, I do not. I have been nearsighted pretty much my whole life. I was the kid in kindergarten that had glasses. I got glasses when I was 6 years old. Since I do cosplay, it's only natural that'll come around, and I have colored contacts, a collection of them. So I have violet, I have blue, I have green. In fact, I have blue today, see? My eyes naturally are just very dark brown, so it makes it easy to do the contacts. Second question, how old are you? I am 24. Most people, I still very frequently get asked, like, oh, so are you in high school? It's just like, no, I'm not. The next question, keeping your harp nice and functional takes hard work, doesn't it? That's a very nice question. Not many people think about that. But yeah, it does. It's kind of funny. I used to joke whenever like a guitarist started complaining about tuning of, haha, you have 6 strings to tune. I have 40. Or if you're gonna take both harps, I have 69 strings to tune whenever I want to play both my harps. You don't have room to complain. So yeah, there's a lot of tuning. Also, harps are very finicky instruments. They do not like air on them. They do not like it too hot. They do not like it too cold. They will break strings if that happens. And this leads into the next question of how expensive is a harp? In order to replace all of my strings on the big harp, that's gonna run me about $450. It's not cheap. When I break strings, normally the ones that break the most are in these octaves here, And those ones are between about $30 per string and $20 per string. So it's like, you know what? No, I don't want to be breaking strings. I don't want to be taking risks on it like that because it's expensive. As far as how expensive a harp is initially, that depends on a lot of things. Depends on the brand you're getting, depends on, mostly it depends on the size of it. My big harp Eris, we got her used so it was cheaper, but she's I think about $4,000 normally. My smaller harp, it's honestly a cheap manufacturer in that it comes from a kit. So that one I think new for about $500, but if you want to have it put together it's gonna be over $1,000, and that's with no levers. If you want the levers, that's extra. And honestly, never go without the levers because then there's not a lot you can do. But yeah, I'd say the cheapest you're ever going to be able to get on a harp is about $300, and it's not that great of an instrument. Pedal harps, your cheapest pedal harp is probably going to be $12,000, and it can go up to like house cost. It can go up to like $80,000 or something. So yeah, there's a very wide range, but they are definitely among the more expensive instruments in the musician's world. If you're ever interested in getting a harp too, I am happy to recommend anything or hook you up with some people that might have used harps for sale, because I love it when others play this instrument. Always ask. Always ask. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Which one do you like most? Spring. Definitely spring. I have reasons for why I like everything. There is nothing that I do that I don't have a reason backing it. I'm a very cold-natured person. I'm the person that it's 70 degrees inside the building and I'm asking if I can borrow your sweater because I'm cold. Spring, it's starting to warm up. The world is just, everything's turning green and flowers are coming out, and birds are singing, and it's just blooming with life, and I love it. Second favorite, winter, and that might surprise you. It has to do, I love the way it looks when there's a fresh blanket of snow, and it just makes me so happy. So I love winter, especially when it snows. And I also love like winter fashion. And then after that it would be summer because I'm very comfortable because it's hot out and I'm not cold. And then fall, and the reason for that is because I recognize that fall color is considered very beautiful, and it definitely is. It's just not beautiful to me. I don't like oranges or yellows. I like red, but not on trees. I'd rather it just stay green. But then we get winter and it's all pretty with snow again. So yeah. And then one more question from David. Favorite books? Anything fantasy, honestly. Fantasy is like my niche. But I would say probably my favorite book series of all time is the Aragon series. It was, I mean, I had read the Chronicles of Narnia, but I had never really read like fantasy that much before I picked up Aragon, and it was also the first big book I read. I am very dyslexic, and so it felt like quite an accomplishment at that time. And I reread those things several times, and I don't really reread books, so you can tell I really loved those. So honestly, probably another book that I reread a lot, or books that I reread a lot. I have a lot of friends that are sort of hobby writers, and one in particular, oh boy, I love all her stories. Especially like the ones that are set in the Victorian era, and I can reread those to oblivion. I love them so much. So yeah, you'll probably never be able to read those though, because it's very hard to get things published. Anyways, so that's all of David's. Now we're moving on to Char-Colored. Very interesting name, that. When did you start playing the harp? I started playing the harp as soon as I got out of high school. I was 18 years old and I did not know how to read music before then. So if ever there's anything that you want to do, go do it. Doesn't matter how old you are. It might turn into your career randomly. Do you learn from sheet music? Yes and no. I prefer learning from sheet music, but because I have so many interests in the video game genres, there's not always sheet music for them, or what you have in the way of sheet music happens to be something that some random fan picked out and it's not necessarily perfect yet, so that I have to do a lot of tweaking and messing around to try to figure it out. Now, I never really play from sheet music because I naturally memorize things that I like, and if I can just play it normally, I'm not going to have the sheet music in front of me anymore. We'll save these next two questions for, but it's the favorite harp song and favorite musical artist. Next person. So this person is kind of interesting. He gave the most amount of questions and then decided to delete the comment. But the funny thing about YouTube that you should probably know, YouTubers get your comments as notifications and they go into a folder in their settings and their files. So even if you delete the comment, it's still in that folder and they can still read the entire thing. So I still have the whole thing. There was a lot of questions on there. I could tell trying to be silly, and that's probably why it got deleted. There was a lot of really good questions on there too, so I did pull most of them, and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna answer them anyway. And since they sort of deleted the comment, I'll let them be. Anonymous is very much Zelda fan. So, first question, which this was very amusing to me. They asked dogs or cats, and then the next question said, if dogs, explain why. If cats, don't bother because cats are awesome and everybody knows that. So I was like, oh dear. Someone after my own heart there, because yeah, I'm a cat person through and through. I have been a cat person probably since I came out of the womb, pretty much. I always loved cats. I see a cat and it's like, oh, Katie just forgot what we were talking about and she's gonna go over there and try to get the cat to like her. Definitely not dogs. I am borderline hate dogs, but I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's a little bit difficult when you love cats so much, and you know dogs normally, if left in a room with a cat, would probably end up chewing the cat to death or like snapping its neck or something. Basically murdering the cat. So it's kind of hard to like a dog when you're a major cat person. But I understand other people have other interests and likes, and that's okay. You can like dogs, I don't, and that's about it. Favorite color. So, artsy people usually don't have a favorite color. I have always loved blue, and that I've called my favorite color, but later on, and it was really when I was doing my first watercolor, which was an evening rose. I think that's what it's called anyway. It's sort of like this pinky purple color, and you can't quite tell which is in between it, and I do so many watercolors of this color because I love it so much. So I think probably my favorite colors are like pastel-y pinks, purples, and blues. And then also I really like anything grayscale. I know it's not color, but white and black and every single shade of gray in between. I really, really like those two. About the only color I don't like is probably orange and maybe yellow. Favorite candy? I don't like chocolate, surprisingly. I don't really like chocolate that much. I like fruity stuff. Probably jelly beans are my favorite candy. We will save the next one, which is favorite Zelda game. That actually goes in influences. Favorite musical note? I would say it's probably D, and the only reason I think this is because most of my favorite songs happen to be either in the key of D or in the key of F, which is D minor. And most of the songs that I play are the minor keys, because I'm a minor minstrel. Interesting thing too, D minor is actually known as the darkest key of all the minor keys, so it's the most minor key. So yeah, I'm a minor girl. I definitely am. Maybe that's why people mistake me for being so young. I'm usually not a punner. Favorite song? We will save that too. Would you ever dye your hair? And if so, what color? I would dye it black. I actually got this comment like 2 days before I was gonna dye my hair. I have wanted to dye my hair for many, many years, but I'm scared of damaging it because I like length, I like keeping it healthy, so I'm limited in what I would dye it. But if I'm being perfectly honest, there is very, very few colors that I wouldn't dye my hair. Okay, if there was any way possible that I could get pastel-y blue, purple, and white hair without damaging it, and knowing that it would fade out back into my natural brown, because I actually really like my natural brown, I would totally do that. That is not possible. So that's probably never going to happen. But yes, I would be really crazy with hair. And it probably comes from liking anime, that I just am fine with random hair colors. And see, he did a lot of questions. Some pretty interesting. Favorite place to hang out? I'm a major introvert. I don't like to go out and hang out places. I don't like being around people. So in my room, sitting in my room, watching YouTube videos, or playing video games, or in my little work area, my work room, just working on all my projects. I really enjoy this time right now, getting stuff done, recording this video, now that it's actually going good. Dream place to live? I have no idea, but I can tell you I have been thinking about this a lot lately, because I'm coming to a point in my life where I really want to leave and like find my own path and do something. I don't know where I want to go yet. I know I do not like the region I live in necessarily. I don't hate it, I just don't feel at home here. So yeah, probably need to go someplace else if I really want to be the happiest, but I don't know where that is. This kind of links into the next question. If you traveled, where would you want to go? I know a few places. Someday, I am definitely going to Japan. And I've been studying Japanese for like 3 years. I can't say much. Konnichiwa. O genki desu ka? Watashi wa name Katie desu. Watashi neko suki desu. Watashi neko suki desu ka? Watashi no kuru-kun. Watashi no kuru-kun de neko desu? Or maybe it's Watashi no neko de kurokun desu. I don't know. Anyways, I need to study a little bit more. But I've been studying Japanese for a long time, so eventually I'm gonna go over there. Eventually. And then also, I want to go to South Korea because K-pop. Yeah, and South Korea has more of a Christian population, so that would be cool. I would love to visit there. I would love to visit London too. But that's about it, honestly. I don't really want to go anywhere else. So, maybe New Zealand. New Zealand is nice. This is a cup that reacts to the heat, so it's not Zelda-y anymore because my coffee is getting cold. Alright, next question. Do you believe in ghosts / supernatural beings? It would depend on what you mean. Ghosts being they are the spirits of the dead that are still on this earth. No, that's not a thing. I think if that was a thing, we would have some indication of it in the Bible. And considering that we have like descriptions of Hades and stuff, yeah, no, you die and you go into Hades or heaven. That's how it works. Now, as far as supernatural beings goes, yeah, there's angels, there's demons, and they do stuff. They can interact with this world. I think the demons still interact quite a bit with this world, honestly, but we don't call it that anymore. And then the last question, which was probably one of the deepest questions that I got from this person that jokes a lot, is if you were alone in the world, what would you do? And anybody that knows me being majorly introverted, so you would think I would be really happy to be alone. And at first I probably would, because there's nobody around to bother me or make me tired. But then later on, it's like, you know, even though I am a lone wolf, I just get into my moods of, please people, just leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with anybody right now. Yet, every project I have, everything I do, ultimately goes back to, this is for other people. That's why I have this channel. I play the harp because I want to make people happy. I want to, if they're sad or upset, remind them that there's beauty out there. I want to bring glory to God by showing His creation of music to other people. This is why I paint too. I want to show people how beautiful the world is, to make them happy, or to help them when they're feeling really sad. So if I was alone in the world, what would I do? I have no idea, because there wouldn't be anybody to help or any real purpose. I want to kill myself, obviously. I would probably just make the most beautiful things I could for my own enjoyment, and I would probably just do a lot of talking with God, because you need people, and if there's nobody else around, there's just Him. It actually probably would be good for me, but then it wouldn't be good for me. I don't know. Very deep question though. Next person. This is Altoona Europeano. Altoona is a very special subscriber in that he found me when I was probably still around 20 subscribers, and has been one of the most loyal subscribers, if not the most loyal. Every video I can always count on a comment from him saying like, I really like this one, and it's so nice to have subscribers like that. I have another one too, but she's an in-person friend that I had before even these channels started. First of all, can you recommend some YouTubers that you enjoy? Especially small YouTubers. I think I'm gonna save this one for the influences because it's kind of there. What got you started playing the harp and how long have you been playing it? So, what got me started was we just found one for sale, and this was actually a super cheap harp. It wasn't a good one. It was only $200, and we just got it and got me lessons. This was when I was 18 years old, fresh out of high school. I've been playing for 6 years now, and yeah, just I latched on to music and never looked back, I suppose. It's very interesting. Okay, what other instruments can you play? Kind of nothing. I suppose if you want to call voice an instrument, I sort of sing. I would not say I'm a singer because I'm just not very confident in my singing ability, but I do try. I have lots of random hobby instruments that I play around, which would be a panpipe. And that's, okay, I'm just gonna go on the influences kick right then. Or the main reason I have a panpipe is because of Spirit Tracks. Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. Because I played that and I would just bring up that little panpipe on my thing and just play around with it for a while. I loved that instrument so much, and I loved all of the songs. It was so great. So yeah, panpipe. And then I also got the ear hoop, but I don't know how to play that. I have this sort of xylophone type instrument that someone gave me. It's almost like a music box, but not really. I have a couple of ocarinas, but they're not good quality ocarinas, so I never got good when playing them. And then I have a bamboo-ish flute that I also can't play, so it's just like harp is the only instrument that I actually learned to play in the first place. Also asked about influences and video game series, which we'll save that. But we're getting really close to the influences questions. In your opinion, is it possible to use realism style of painting to create something like an alien landscape or any kind of fantasy world? Oh yes, oh yes. And actually, we do it all the time. Take for instance, Marvel. Okay? They go all sorts of everywhere. That whole thing with Doctor Strange and the mirror dimension, even though it's kind of like got weird angles and stuff like that, it's realistically drawn. And that's basically moving art. That's what it is. It's CG. It's digital moving art. Thanos himself. Okay, alien creature. But he's very realistically done. Avatar world. Very much fantasy. Very realistic done. You can even go with like video game stuff. Anything Final Fantasy engines are insanely good on their realism stuff, but they're very fantasy driven too. It's like you got these weird alien creatures that you're battling, but they look like they're real. They don't look cartoony. So yeah, definitely, and it happens all the time, and we honestly, as people, love those sorts of things. We love them, but we just don't recognize them as realism that often. So yeah, very much happens. Would you consider making a sequel to the watermelon video where you chop up things like cans of pop in half? I don't know, sure, if people want it. Probably not cans of pop though, or anything that would really damage the sword, but I would be happy to make sequels on that. Do Fruit Ninja or something? I'll do it. That's fine. It sounds fun. Do you have any channel goals for the future, like maybe once you hit 1,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 views? Yeah, of course I do. I have plenty of channel goals. They're kind of, they move around as is. I don't know if you follow my Facebook, but I'm constantly monitoring how many views each video has, and every time a video passes 100 views, or 250 or 500 or 1,000, I make sure to mention it and like, yay, another video did this, we're happy, that sort of thing. So I celebrate a lot of those things. I'm definitely gonna do, I'm probably gonna keep it basically like at the 50, 100, 250, 500, 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, so on, just keeping on like that. And I am a dreamer, like massive dreamer, so I want 1,000,000 subscribers someday. That's a goal. That's a long-term goal. But yeah, so pretty much any goal, yeah, there is there. As far as specials go, yeah, I want to do a special for every single one of those goals. What it's gonna be kind of happens as I go. I know when I get 100 subscribers, I do plan on doing some sort of giveaway, but I'm not quite sure what. Two more people, and then we'll get on to influences. This is my friend that always comments on my videos, and I've known beforehand. She asks, what is your favorite color of wig to wear? And she's a LARPer friend. We LARP together, so that's how she would know that I have a pretty extensive wig collection at this point. And the answer is my long black one is my favorite wig to wear, and I really like wearing just all my black wigs in general. That's why Vax has black hair. That's why my hair is black now. I really like the way my skin tone looks with black hair, because it makes me paler, because I like pale skin tones. Moving on. What's some of the top inspirations for your music? Inspiration again. What are your top 3 favorite songs? Not recently, but more historically big favorite songs. And what is your next YouTube goal? And then one more person, and it's my mom. She asks, when is your first album coming out? Thanks, Mommy. That's actually next year's project. I am planning on trying to next year do a full album, if not 2. We'll see. It'll probably just be 1, knowing me. But I always shoot high. I shoot for the moon, and then I always hit something pretty high, but it falls short of the moon. And then what inspires you? So, that is all the questions. And this video is already 30 minutes long, so this is going to be a part 1 and part 2. Sorry guys, I can't seem to be concise on anything. I always have to elaborate on what I mean, but hopefully that's not too much of a problem, and I hope you really enjoyed it, and I will hopefully have part 2 out in a day or 2, so bye until next time.